Well, hey guys, and welcome to another episode here on our Birnie Family channel on YouTube and on Facebook, of course. And today, guys, I'm basically coming to you from the kitchen. I really want to do this video outside, you know, because it's a fishing video. I want to show you all the gear and do all the bits and pieces, but it's still quite cold and blustery and rainy and all sorts of stuff, guys, you know, so I thought we'll just do it here in the house. But the idea here is, guys, is that it really is getting to the start of that sort of traditional fishing season start, you know. And what I thought I'd do is get out all my gear, just to go through as quickly as I can all the stuff we take with us. And the idea with this is, guys, is that, you know, we do obviously a lot of caravanning, a lot of camping, you know, a lot of travelling about, and excuse me, and you don't always know sort of what fishing you can come across, you know, the sea fishing and loch fishing, butterfly fishing, you know. You try to sort of plan ahead a little bit, but you know. So what I try to do, guys, is basically have everything that we need for any sort of type of fishing, as it were, all in one place. And that isn't easy, you know, that is a lot of gear. And you could even get even more than what I'm about to show you. But hopefully, guys, this will just give you a bit of an idea what we travel about with. If you're really wanting to get into fishing or even filming fishing videos for YouTube, I really hope this is helpful for you guys, you know. And hopefully what I'm going to show you today is just how to have everything in a 2 or 3 carriers, as it were, you know, so you can take it anywhere you can in the car. And again, you're back to that space, you know, that if you are travelling, you know, we've got a Land Rover Discovery too, so it's quite a big boot, and we've got a roof box and all that sort of stuff. But with everything together, it's a lot, you know, it really is a lot. So hopefully what I'm going to show you today, guys, is the slimmed down version for fishing anywhere. And here we go in the kitchen, guys, and hopefully what you see right there, that and that is everything, guys. You know, it's basically everything for fishing, apart from clothes, you know. And like I said, what I'm going to show you in here are all the bits and pieces that we need. Right, guys, so straight into it with the rod case. And you know, there's 2 compartments in this thing. I tend to like using this compartment here for the reels. And obviously, guys, what you see here is pretty much a good lot of reels. I'll show you as we go through for all the different types of fishing we need. So obviously, guys, we've got the heavier sort of sea stuff going on here. You know, we've got the multiplier reel and the big fixed spool reel. And I've got 2 very similar. They're almost like coarse reels, I suppose. You know, much more your sort of coarse style reels. Spare reels, you know, just in case of any sort of issues, and of course the good old fly reel. And I've had this since I was 17 years old, you know, so I tend to be quite nostalgic when it comes to the fishing stuff, you know. But guys, basically that's more than enough reels, you know, that you really need. We're hoping to do quite a lot of trawling on Loch Ness and on Loch Lomond, so probably get another multiplier, maybe another couple of multipliers actually, you know, just to sort of help out with that. But that's all the reels there, guys. And in front, you might have noticed, guys, got 2 sort of both of these rods are actually the same make, and they're 11 foot, what you'd call beach casting rods. And you'll see from where the reel is to the back, you know, it really is quite a distance, guys, you know. But I carry these about in the Land Rover all the time. The reason being is, you know, when you go fishing for mackerel, you know, if you're using sort of big weights, they're more than enough to handle that. You can get the real distance that you need, and you've got the heavy the reels to really help you fish, you know. And when you do get 2 or 3 mackerel, boy oh boy, they can easily take that. But the switch side to that is, guys, is that I can also use these for trawling and freshwater, you know, which is awesome. So you can trawl in freshwater with these as well. And also, if we're out pike fishing, for example, can actually have these out with dead baits, you know, hopefully to attract the bigger fish. And again, you've got the big gear for that. So hopefully just for that sort of combination, guys, you know, covering a lot of ground. Definitely covering a lot of ground. So guys, 2 very nice sea rods. Obviously switch it over for big stuff like pike and all that sort of stuff. Check it out. A video cannot go by without Bailey being in it. Hey Bailey? We're still sort of midway through redecorations in the house. You'll have seen our previous kitchen project videos, but these 2 are just trying to get along. They're getting there, slowly but surely. Bailey, she doesn't want to play with you. She's not interested. So you've obviously noticed I've obviously got the fly reel here as well as the spinning reels, and I'll show you that in just a second. But yeah, hopefully guys, I've just got that little bit extra space now where I can maybe put in, another couple of multipliers, and I'd be quite happy with that, I think. So I've just switched around now, guys. I've put the reels off on the other side, and this is the first rod. Again, guys, I'll fly through this really quickly, but this, guys, is basically like a 12-foot coarse fishing rod, really. And obviously, just your basic rod, really, really good though. And I take that pretty much to places, where, if you've got like a bank of a river where there's a lot of undergrowth, you really need to get the rod, right out there, so you can't, so you don't snag up and stuff. It's also good if you're fishing like with 2 or 3 rods. This could have a static bait, like a dead bait or something like that while you're spinning. So that is always good to have, guys. A nice 3-piece, like 12-foot rod. And the next ones, guys, we have a little look here. No point in going fishing if I've not got the kids and stuff like that, So they've got their own rods, which we keep in there as well, But again, guys, if you're at the seaside or whatever and you're by yourself and you've maybe got the big rods out with some bait on, you can spin away with these little ones, just at the edge. If you're not, if you're one of those people that can't sort of sit around, like me, you can use it for that. But basically, guys, we take that wherever we go. And it's always ready for David and Emily to use. So the next one, guys, is your sort of basic 7-foot rod, this one right here. And this is the one I use all the time. And basically, guys, I've had this for a long, long time, and it really has had enough. I think it might actually be time for a change. That eye has gone this season, sort of last season, it's just not there at all. And as you can see, I've done a couple of repair jobs on there, just to get by. I'm going to have to change that as well. But, having a 7-foot, like just a really nice all-round rod for just whatever is really, really handy to have. And I use that thing down at the sea as well. I'll use it for spinning down at the sea. But mostly it's, just float fishing with maggots for rainbow trout and things like that, But, it's equally as good for spinning or just, putting a bait on the riverbed or the loch bed, So it's always good having one of them. And now what we have, guys, is the fly rod. And for those of you that don't know, this is a little bit of a different type of fishing. It's certainly not for everyone. I've been doing this since I was very young, hence this rod. This is actually the original rod from my teenage years. This rod's easily 25 to 30 years old. But it's always done me so well, guys. It's difficult to give up wee things like that. However, I think it's probably a good time for a new sort of fly rod as well. But again, guys, that gives you the option when you're out and about. You can have static bait, you can be fly fishing as well at the same time, and basically, having all these rods together means you're pretty much covered wherever you're going to go, whether it be a trout fishery or whatever else. You've got all the, you've got all the right rods for the right jobs. Now, I've never had a rod carrying case before. This is pretty new. I just started using this last year, But obviously, all the rods go in there, all the reels go on the other side. And I tend to keep my handles in here, so you can see the size of them, guys, you wouldn't fit the whole reel in. So up top here, this is where I keep all the handles for the reels. Down in this part here, guys, you can put your bank sticks in here and whatnot. But I think the most important thing on this job is a good umbrella. That's always really important. We'll come to the sort of comfort stuff a little bit later. But guys, that's the basic setup. And you can see, that if you do want to be filming YouTube videos and going to various places camping and stuff, you're well worth having all this, to have it all round. This has took me, years to sort of collect and whatnot, But boy, oh boy, guys, they've seen some fish. Right, so guys, now I'll just spin right the other side of the breakfast bar there to show you this. Now this bag, this is what I really wanted. It was a bag that had everything. It doesn't matter what fishing we're doing, this has got it. The biggest issue with that, guys, is weight. You've got a tremendous amount of weight in there. So you've got to be sort of really careful how you go with this, or you're just going to have a bag that is very, very heavy to lug around. But in here, guys, you'll see that we've very much got it very well set out, and I'm going to show you all of this. Basically, guys, that is mostly for the sea fishing, and the tools that go with the job. It's more for sort of fly fishing and, lochs and rivers and stuff. And then we've got sort of big lures for pike fishing and so on. So I'll zip through this quickly as well, guys. Yes, we'll take out big boy here, guys. Up. And as you'll see, I really like these. This is what I always like. You can get all these different compartments, And like I said, guys, it's mostly sea fishing stuff. And as you can see, you know, for the sea, we've got a lot of, you know, different types, and that's what's always good. You know, especially if you're out fishing, you know, me and David go out, I'll try one thing, David will try another, and, you know, if we catch on that, then that's what we're going to use, you know, and it just gives you that bit more of a chance, you know. And you can switch them, you can just get everything, guys. And it can actually get quite addictive, but you can just get everything, guys. You know, these are, you can imagine them in the water, absolutely tremendous. A lot more of your sort of traditional lures as well. And this is where some of this stuff actually crosses over into pike fishing, you know, big game fish as well. They sort of like all this stuff. But, you know, for your cod and your pollock and all that sort of stuff, pink seems to always be the thing. You know, people, they just go on and on about how good pink is when it comes to that, you know. And you can see him, look, goodness me. Nice bit of weight on the end as well, you know, so you don't have to put any extra weights, you know. And, you know, a lot of the usual stuff, guys, I tend to go pink. I just always kind of go with the pink, and it always seems to work. And that's what then you can sort of stick with, you know. But there's tons of little guys you can get. I mean, look at him, you know, wee cracker. And like I said, it can get quite addictive because there's so many different types you can get. I'll show you the ones that actually really work and work on a consistent basis, you know what I mean? But that's that. So pretty much there, guys, we're pretty much covered. You know, for sea fishing around our coastline anyway, in the UK, you know, a lot of that gear will work, you know, and sometimes it's just trial and error. Something works one day, next day it doesn't, you know, but it's worth having it all. So next one, guys, there's slightly smaller lures, I suppose, and quite a lot of your more traditional spinners, you know, like this. Again, these can sometimes be used in the sea as well as the lochs and stuff like that. But I like to have quite a lot of these, guys, you know, all different types. And the reason is, you know, when we got to places in the Highlands, there's rivers or lochs or streams that, you know, I've never fished in before. And in that, guys, you don't know where the snags are, you know, trees have fallen down, you will lose some gear. So it's well worth having quite a few of these, you know, really well worth it. And a lot of them work, you know, these are very traditional. Very, very traditional ones. You know, you guys will know. And tends to be really good, these copper ones, guys. These tend to be really good. Gold, copper. But little devils, look at this guy. Let's see if I can get him out for you without ripping the hand. You know, just mimics a little fish. Look at that. Not cute. It's got the wee spoon on the end there. So quite a few of them, and then we're sort of more into your sea ones, a lot of your traditional sea ones. And I'll tell you guys, from everything that we have, I have to say, you see this one here? These simple ones, you can see how many I've got. These just work the best. They always catch, you know, pollock or cod. If they're there, a reasonable sized pollock from £1.50 upwards will go for this, you know, and the same again with cod if you've got access to that. But again, because of the places we go, guys, you know, I don't know what the ground's like out there, you know, so you do tend to lose lures, and as you can see, that's why I've got quite a few of these in there, you know. But we've caught fish with these ones before, so I keep these sort of hung around as well. Again, just a really simple silver with red, and then you sort of get these sort of mackerel-y looking jobs. Oh, a spoon, there we go. Need one of them as well. Hopefully I'm giving you good tips here though, guys, you know, especially for sort of UK fishing. Now, you obviously get pollock and cod in the States and all that as well, so hopefully this is really helpful. But guys, anything like this, big silver. I've seen guys go out fishing, you know, for £10 to £15 cod and pollock have got maybe double the size of this. But this is just a perfect weight to get you out from the shore, you know. Right, so away from the lures a little bit now, guys, more with the weights and whatnot. And again, guys, it's just really good to have a nice selection, but this is where the weight obviously comes in your bag, you know. I'm going to strip this down to just having 2 or 3 in each, because I'd like another couple of big bombs, because it does make this very, very heavy, you know. But guys, I've basically got everything you need, everything nice and simple, you know. Like, for example, these bombs are great for mackerel fishing, you know, with the feathers and stuff. That'll get you right out there, that's perfect. These are a bit more for sort of harbours and stuff, you know, maybe just to, you know, give the bait a bit of a chance to stay in the same bit. And then you've got great big ones like this 3 ounce that'll take you right out. And obviously all the different sizes of hooks to go along with that. Treble hooks, they've got swivels. And I tend to like that hasn't got, I tend to like snap swivels. I really like to have them on, you know, so you can just clip lures on and off. That's really, really good. And one thing that a lot of people don't do, which I don't see why not, because it's always worked for me, is using these swim feeders. So for example, guys, you know, if you're at the harbour, you can actually fill that up with tuna and bread and stuff like that, you know, and it just creates that sort of smell for the fish, you know. Downside to them is that crabs like it, so crabs end up sometimes coming across and whatnot, you know. But you know, if your fish there at the harbour or off the coast just a little bit, swim feeding's really good. The currents, you know, moving around, you know, the tide's going in and out, and all the sort of bits and pieces, especially tuna, you know, are going out and attracting the fish, and that's what you want, you know. So just as a little added extra when it comes to sea fish, guys, I tend to use these beads as well down beside the hook or the spinner. It just gives it that much more of a sort of colourful bait for them, you know. So even if you have 1 or 2, maybe 3 on down beside the hook on your line, you know, that really helps. If you've got the swim feeder on with some tuna in it, guys, if there's fish there, they're going to take it, you know. It's just going to happen. So that's bottom part into top bit, guys, and obviously just the sort of usual stuff, you know, spare lines, obviously, you know, for all sort of different types of fishing. They've had it, look, they've been at the sea as many times now, the pliers. I've got another one of them. Obviously for getting fish, getting the hook out of fish's mouths, you know. But this, I think David's blaming Bailey. Yes, which is always good as well, guys. You know, if the day's going pretty wrong, see the power bait stuff. A lot of people say that's cheating and whatnot, you know, but you want to sitting out on a fishing day all day and catch nothing, you know. And if you're not, it's always worth a try, especially with like a trout. You know, they sort of love this stuff. And obviously, you know, you can just buy it on Amazon, you know, or just at your local tackle shop or whatever, you know. And pretty much again, you know, just the same, like natural scent. So you can use this as well, you know, just on your hook. Yes, I get a little bit more hardcore now though, guys. You see these are trolling boards, you know, and basically, you know, they go that way in the water, but it means you can go down like 70 or 80 feet, you know, and you can actually trail. You'll see the swivels in the back. You can actually trail a lure or like a dead bait or something behind the boat, you know, if that's what you're doing. So it's always good to have a couple of them on board. Not cheating again though, guys, but a bite indicator. Now again, you know, when you're out filming and you're maybe by yourself and you've got like a static bait out, you know, like I showed you there, like the big 12-foot rod, you can leave that on. So if you're spinning or doing anything else, that's what you get. Just put your line through there and you've got a bite indicator. So next, guys, a little bit more technical we're getting now, but this is a lot more for sort of rivers and lochs, you know. This is your sort of different types of stuff. And again, guys, you know, you want to be fishing trout or coarse fish or your big pike and all sorts of stuff, you know, so you want to be totally equipped. So that's why, I mean, I tend to carry quite a lot of different types of floats, you know. And again, it just sort of, you just pick on the day, but I tend to go for these clear ones. They always seem to work, you know, they always seem to be so good. Just sit nicely in the water. They've got just enough weight in it, you know. Or you can switch down if you're going to be a bit closer to the bank. They're always good. And obviously you've got a lot of these coarse fishing ones as well, which you can lose. But you know, you can use these on rivers, you know, just light stuff for trout and stuff, you know. That's really good for that. And then we've got some of your sort of bigger boys, you know. And these are really good, guys, you know, if you are sort of pike fishing, for example, these are really good floats for that sort of heavier dead baits, you know, so you've got that in your sort of arsenal as well. And just like the sea box, guys, plenty of these swim feeders, all different types. Again, these guys come with weights. Sometimes that can just act as your weight. You know, you've got your bait, whatever you've got in there, your little chum, you know, that's quite a heavy little thing. And you can have the, you know, that slipping up and down the line. You're really going to pick up the bites for that as well, you know. And then just the usuals, guys. You're going to got all the different sizes of little hooks in here. Got barbless hooks as well, you know, which is pretty cool. Got treble hooks in there. What else have we got going on here? I've been in here for a wee while, trying to remember. Fine, I'll stop being lazy, guys, and just take it all out to show you. So again, yeah, some treble hooks there as well. Don't generally sort of need them. Obviously, guys, you know, you've got your normal weights, you know, just these sort of lead-free shots, you know. But I also like having slightly larger, you know, just in the river, so slightly larger ones as well. You could be fishing a river that's on spate, you know, and maybe you want to keep your, keep your bait in one place. You know, that's what these are really good for, you know. And they're always good to have weights, that slide up and down. You'll see that hole there. You want weights that sort of slide up and down your line as well, you know. Just gets a bit more sensitivity. Plenty of small hooks for coarse fish, which is absolutely fine. I actually need more hooks for in here. Probably need some more of that as well. And obviously just your usual swivels and snap swivels and stuff like that. Right, so now moving to the back of the box, guys. Most of you all know this will be fly fishing stuff, you know. I've never really done it as much fishing with buzzers before. I'm going to do a little bit more of that this year, you know, so that'll be really good. But basically, guys, just having, nice leader line. This is really handy, light leader line. Quite a lot of that, actually. And obviously, just depends where you're fishing at. But one of the big things I like, guys, is like fly gel. I prefer dry fly fishing. That's why I haven't done a lot with the buzzers. But that really helps, guys. Just a little bit of gel on it, and bang, there it goes. That's actually like a powder, and that's not very good. So, I don't know why I still keep that in there. Yeah, so again, guys, it's always really good to have these leaders that are already made up and just really easy to use. And again, it just depends where you're fishing. You might want to have the leader on, the top of the water. You might want it just to go down medium. You might want it to go deep. So it's nice to have these as different sort of sizes and weight, for whatever fish you're sort of going for. And there, just to fill up another space, guys, a lot of little stick floats and stuff like that. These are really handy, nice and simple. That's what I always like, nice and simple. A few stick floats in there that are maybe just a little bit too long. I probably need to get a couple of longer ones as well to a couple of the places we want to go. But I'll catch up on that a little bit later on, I think. So a lot of that stuff there, guys, is just your basic needs. And like I said, because of all the different places we go, I like to have myself sort of covered with everything, which is really good. Right, so we'll shut that box up, guys. We'll get into one of these. Got two of these, obviously. But I just wanted to show you just some of the sort of plugs and lures that we take. And again, all different sizes, And obviously, the likes of these ones are there to mimic little trout. So they're obviously very good for pike fishing and whatnot, And again, guys, it's nice to have different colours. It's nice to have a bit of variety. But, a little variety. Look, there's nice blue ones as well, It just sort of depends. So, always having a nice selection. And like I keep saying, the places we go, I don't know where the snags are, you can't lose, so it's well worth having just a little bit more. And obviously then, guys, we're up into sort of bigger ones. This one, for example, is a very, very traditional. You can actually use these in the sea as well. For example, like that one there, that can be easily used in the sea. And again, you check this guy out, he's just the same. And when it comes to these guys, you'll see this sort of spoon on the front there. And that obviously helps with depths. And that's why these are all sort of different sizes. Then you can sort of go into your ones that are sort of broken in the middle, and I like these the best. I think they are called articulating lures, but that will mimic a fish just a lot more, the way that it comes through the water. And obviously up into some of these really beautiful ones. I mean, look at that guy, eh? Put him down there. Smaller versions of this one's here. Always nice to have sort of different sizes as well. And this is what I haven't tried yet. Probably do this out in the canoe, and these are for pike. And pike like little frogs. So this guy just sort of dances along, as you pull him in. Looks like a bit of a frog in distress, and up comes Mr. Pike and he's gone. So next one, guys, we're starting to get a bit serious again. Different types of floats. Again, we can use these for the sea, or we can use these for sort of big pike. But these are the type of ones you need for a pike, guys, with sort of dead baits. That's a big float, and that'll hold a good size sort of dead bait, And obviously when it comes to those kind of more predator fish, you really need to have wire traces for your dead baits, And that's really, really important. So I've got a few of them in there. Obviously spare treble hooks. These weights are always good for that as well, guys, because you can just put your line right up and through it. They're really, really good. And some of these, some different sizes of wire traces in there. But look at this guy that I found. Baby pike. Look at the size of him compared to my hand. Just like a little fish. And he'll go through the water, quite the thing. I'll make a little bit of noise. Got a wee bit of... Oh, I hope he's going to bring me some fish, let me tell you. But again, just the sort of larger size floats for that as well, guys, you know, some elastic bands just to hold stuff in place if you need it. Now this box is back to the sort of sea really, and these are a lot of different things for trying out, just have a bit of fun with really. You know, like so these for example are very good for the, you know, like bottom feeding fish in harbours or estuaries and stuff like that, you know. I've never used many of these before, so I'm going to have a wee bit of fun with them when we're out fishing, just to see what we'll sort of get. But obviously a lot of these things are just supposed to mimic the kind of sea life you can find on the bottom, you know, just these littler sort of fish if that's what you want. I haven't tried these yet. These are what you call, these are plastic maggots. Not very sure about that. I like my maggots moving around, but hey ho. And I've been told as well, again guys, you know, this you always go by, these are brilliant for sea fishing, guys. And it tends to be with sea fishing, the simpler the better, you know, and that's a great catch for that. They're really, really good. And obviously, guys, we do a lot with rainbow trout and brown trout. And really, guys, you know, over the years, I've just had tried and tested this so many times. These white ones, these green ones, black ones have always been really, really good. So obviously, I've got quite a few of them in there. A couple of the places I've went, fisheries and whatnot, I've actually bought these from the fisheries, and they work really well as well. Again, these are really simple flies, guys. They're not expensive. They're really, really good. And obviously just one or two different coloured ones. I'll probably fill it up a little bit more, you know, just to try and test. But again, guys, for the places we go, these are the flies that are superb. The one that I'm not so sure about is the buzzers. I haven't used buzzers much before. But basically, guys, with buzzers, there's all different types of buzzers that you put at different depths, and depending on the time of the year. Now, there's quite an art to this. This is something I really want to do this year. But, you know, springtime's apparently really good for using buzzers. So it's important to have all the ones, you know, from the very low right the way up. I've also got a few wet flies in there as well. These are good for using in sort of buzzer rigs as well. So that's really good. So we also got, guys, simple catapult for bait. Really, really nice wee thing. Absolutely perfect. And these, guys, I haven't used these yet. These are trolling depth counters. So obviously when you're running your line off the boat, you've got this depth counter here, just to show you. Should I get it upside down? Yeah. Just to show you how deep it is. Now we've got a fish finder, guys. And that means that, you know, when we are out in the boat and we do spot fish when we're trawling, we can actually adjust the depth to wherever the fish is showing on the fish detector, you know, so that'll be really good. I'm really looking forward to trying them actually. So guys, again, I'm just trying to burn through this video as quickly as I can because it is a lot of stuff, you know, but we're almost there now, you know. But again, creature comforts, guys, little seat just on the bottom of this pack. This is a really old pack. I've been using it for years and years and years, and again, you just sort of get attached to them. And obviously, guys, for the, you know, the ease when you're fishing, a little bit of coffee, you know, hot chocolate or whatever it is you like. Obviously, a nice drink, especially when it gets hot, guys. You know, you really need something. This one's one of those, you know, it's got foil inside to insulate it, so that should stay cold even on sort of warm days, you know, which is really nice. And obviously keep your coffee nice and hot. The other things that's always really good to have, guys, are sort of proper knives. This is sort of filleting knife, and this is a sort of a simpler survival knife. Obviously, guys, the filleting knife is very, very sharp, you know. But, you know, if you want to cook something out in the campfire or whatever, you know, it's nice to have a wee filleting knife. And having a proper knife as well, you know, that just really helps. This is quite a simple one, very sharp, stainless steel, really, really good knife. So hopefully just having shown you the knives first will tell you why we carry this as well, guys, you know, first aid kit. It's a very simple first aid kit with everything that you sort of need in it, including plasters. And you fishermen will know, you know, if you catch yourself stupidly in the morning with a hook and it won't stop bleeding, it's just a pain. So it's always good just to have these, guys, you know, especially if you maybe even got a bit more of a serious cut off of one of those knives or something. That's just a little bit of peace of mind, especially if you're sort of out and about, you know. So I always keep quite a lot of this cord as well, guys. You know, cord's always good for just about everything, you know. You can strap stuff, I can strap stuff onto here and whatnot, you know, which is really good. And up top here, as you'll see, obviously you want to be catching fish, so there's some white plastic bags for that. I can't remember what I normally keep in there. I think it's a reel I keep in there. Box for sandwiches. Now, this is something I probably won't use much, but I've always had a keep net, you know, for going coarse fishing or whatnot. Because obviously there's some fisheries you can go to where you can take 2 fish away, but you might catch 8 or 10 fish that day. So it is nice to maybe keep a couple, and if you catch a bigger one, just let that other ones go and things like that. So it's usually quite nice to have that. And obviously up in the back here, guys, is the normal landing net, which is absolutely brilliant. It's took quite a beating last year, which I'm quite happy about. I'll have to repair that, or might even get a new one, I don't know. Yes, I'll hit the clothes in just a second, guys. But basically, you know, as you can see from the bag we've got in behind there with all this stuff, what I tend to do is with this bag here, it's because I can put it over my back, is just take what I need, you know. Sometimes, you know, if you've only got a 5-minute walk, just take it all. But, you know, generally I can just take what I need and put it in the back of here. But obviously, guys, you know, I don't want to take some stuff and then still need this and still need that. So, across we go to the fishing jacket. And this one here, guys, isn't a waterproof one. I tend to wear waterproofs anyway, you know, with the camo, because that's really good. But guys, if you can keep the stuff that you kind of really need on you at all times, that means you can sort of leave bait rods, or you can go and try a spot for 10-15 minutes a bit further up. It's a little bit more inaccessible. So it's nice to have just the tools that you need. And I like having things like, there's a measuring tape for the fish. I'll leave that there though. And obviously, you know, weight is key. You know, so if you look at this guy here, you've obviously got everything on there, including screwdrivers. So it's always good to have that. I think Leatherman's are really good, I've been told. But, you know, this one's got all the knives and all the bits and pieces that you need. And that is very, very lightweight. That's perfect. And then the back here, just your usual guys. The scissors. It's normal scissors. That's great. And then in here, obviously, is really what you need. And that's obviously just good for getting the hooks out of your fish's mouth, you know. And again, guys, you go way upriver and you catch something, you know, you forgot this and it's back there, and oh my goodness, just have it on you. Have what you need on you. So inside, guys, and this is always good, you know, you tend to have these great big pockets, you know, with these fishing things that you get, you know, which is really good. So again, if you're going to go away fly fishing, let me just get rid of that a second. You know, you can pop your fly boxes in there, just take what you need, which is great. But this is great. This is really good stuff to have. Look, I keep this little box in the jacket here because, again, you go way down river or around the other side of the loch, you know, you may want to take a couple of spinners with you, you know, bits and pieces, you know, so if you lose your tackle or whatever, you don't have to walk all the way back. But just in them, just have the sort of essentials with you, sort of there and then. What a difference it makes, guys, you know. All about preparation. Another note with the camo, guys, you know, this is what's really good. The great thing about this is that it's not only waterproof, but it's windproof, you know. And when you're out and about and you're sitting fishing, you're totally protected from the wind. You know, your upper body's totally protected. Plus, it keeps you quite cool as well. I've tried wearing, you know, body warmers under this and all sorts of stuff, and I just get really hot, you know. So, you know, just a light jumper in this, guys, just about any weather, you'll be sort of happy enough. Obviously, you need the waterproof. This is great for the fish themselves, you know, that's going to help with them not seeing, you know. But having this, guys, I mean, this is just paramount, you know. So it's just like I said about, you know, having the seat and your coffee and all that. Got to have all this stuff to make the day really comfortable as well, you know. You don't want to be sitting out there in the freezing cold wet, you know, all day. You know, it's pretty miserable, really. So, guys, last little couple of points. See with these sort of backpacks that I'm just showing you here, I'm always keen with these to be, you know, washable, you know, really waterproof and washable, because you are going to catch fish, and I don't really want to be putting them into, you know, the lovely fishing bag, you know. But with this, it's absolutely perfect. You know, we can wrap the fish up and put them in there. It's obviously great for the bait as well, depending on what bait you've got. You tend to have worms or, you know, maggots or whatever, you know. I don't really want them in my fishing bag, you know, so that's why they go up here in the backpack. But the idea again is, guys, I mean, between this and, you know, obviously the fishing jacket and all the gear, is that when you do find a place to go, you know, I can fill this up with anything in there that I need. Instead of humping all that around, I can just take this and it's a lot simpler. So there we are, guys, you know, pretty light compared to some fishermen, I'm sure, you know. But again, space in the car, you know, is a big deal, you know. And again, guys, the reason for that bag is you want to take stuff out there into there. can maybe carry this down or just carry the rods. But the truth is, guys, you know, that can be a lot of weight. And I know you can buy trolleys and all sorts of stuff, you know what I mean? But, you know, once you add in your sandwiches, coffee, you know, drinks, you know, all that sort of different things, it adds quite a bit of weight, guys, you know, I mean, it really does. So it's well worth slimming it down to something like this, so that you can basically go anywhere and fish, so any sort of fishing with just the stuff that you have in the back of your car. So it wouldn't be a video if it wasn't for my wee boy coming in, eh son? Look at him, he's a hard day at school, he's tired. Had enough, haven't you? So I was just basically showing the guys what we have, eh? That was what the video was all about. Just to show you what we have. I have skipped through quite a lot though, guys, you know, as quickly as I can, you know, because it's a short video. And I'll maybe go into this details as we go along. But we have got a lot of fishing videos to film, won't you, son? Look at them. You've done Nesty, haven't you? You've fished in loads of places. Birkhead, but we really, really need to get out this year and do a lot more. We just bought a roof tent. So that's another thing to go along with our caravan and quad bikes and motorbike and all sorts of stuff. So hopefully we're producing quite a lot of very cool videos this year, guys. But this is us preparing, isn't it? Preparing to get going. Yeah. And you guys are still building your channel, aren't you? Birnie Family Fun?
We've been doing Minecraft and Roblox, and soon we're gonna do Among Us videos.
That's right, yeah. So that's awesome. They're doing really well, guys. Really, really well. So if you've got any kids that are into all that sort of stuff, which I'm sure they are, you can just switch on. They're displayed on our website actually as well, aren't you? Birnie Family Fun. So very cool. But me and David are going to try and go out as much as we can, aren't we? Go out the roof tent, campfires, food, survival stuff, or fishing stuff. Oh yeah. Let's do this thing. So listen guys, for now I hope you've enjoyed the video. Again, we'll get back to, you know, I'll do a couple of things in more detail, and obviously we're going to do a lot of fishing videos this year from Loch Ness and Loch Lomond and a lot of different places, so that'll be very cool. But for now guys, just hope you enjoyed the video.